Okay, let's unpack this. We have all had that moment, right? You're in front of a mirror.
Oh, I know this moment.
Maybe it's a Monday morning, the lighting is just a little too harsh, and you see a new wrinkle.
Yep.
And then, you see a magazine cover of some celebrity who is definitely older than you, but somehow looks 20 years younger.
What's the excuse we tell ourselves?
The genes.
Always.
Yeah.
It's the classic defense mechanism.
Exactly. Oh, they just won the genetic lottery. It's just DNA. It's so comforting, isn't it?
It is. And to be fair, genetics do play a huge role. I mean, bone structure, skin type, that's all heritage.
For sure.
But we can never really test how much is nature versus nurture. We don't have a control group.
But today we do.
We actually do. Which is what makes this so interesting.
This deep dive is, I think, one of the most fascinating case studies we ever covered because it just takes that good genes excuse and really puts it to the test.
It does.
We're looking at an article titled, "The Hidden Reason Why Brad Pitt Looks So Much Better Than His Brother." And yes, we are talking about Brad Pitt versus his younger brother, Doug Pitt.
And this isn't just celebrity gossip, which I know it sounds like. It's actually a really stark look at the biology of aging.
It's nature versus a very specific, very expensive kind of nurture.
Exactly.
So our mission for this deep dive is pretty simple. We're going to figure out why Brad, the older brother, looks so much more youthful and polished, that's the phrase from the source, than his younger sibling.
Is it magic? Or is it a formula?
I think the answer is going to surprise you. It's less about magic and way more about, money and discipline.
A very specific set of variables. Let's get into it.
Okay, so the observation that kicked this whole thing off was from fans, from the media. Some photos started circulating.
Brad Pitt next to his brother Doug.
Right. We all know what Brad looks like. He's the gold standard for aging in Hollywood.
He's the archetype.
And then there's Doug. Now, Doug is 3 years younger than Brad. And, I want to be respectful here.
Of course.
He looks like a perfectly nice, normal guy. But he does not look like a movie star. And if you didn't know, you would bet money that Doug is the older brother.
That's the key observation, right? Doug is younger, yet he shows the standard signs of aging we'd expect for a man his age.
Like what?
Deeper lines, the different skin texture, the jawline softens a bit, just normal stuff. Brad, on the other hand, is described as aging remarkably well.
And since they're brothers, the genetic baseline has to be pretty similar.
It has to be. They share about 50% of the same DNA, same parents, same childhood. So if the good genes argument was the whole story, Doug should look pretty fantastic too.
He should at least look younger than his older brother.
He definitely shouldn't look older. So the source is basically saying genetics are not the whole story here.
They load the gun, but something else pulls the trigger.
Precisely. And the source says there's much more behind Brad's appearance. We're seeing a divergence.
Okay, so let's break down the much more. The source points to three main factors, and the first one is what they call the lifestyle overhaul.
Right. And at first, this sounds a little cliche, eat well, exercise.
We've all heard it.
But the source goes deeper into the biology of why this matters so much, for Brad specifically. It notes that his lifestyle has evolved dramatically. This wasn't always him.
Right. He had to confront what the source calls personal struggles.
Specifically with alcohol.
Sobriety. Brad's been very open about getting sober. But from a biological standpoint, does cutting out alcohol really make that much of a difference to your face?
Oh, a massive difference. Alcohol is a systemic inflammatory agent. It dehydrates your skin right away, which makes fine lines look worse.
Okay.
But the long-term damage, it messes with your sleep and it spikes cortisol.
The stress hormone.
Public enemy number one for vanity. Cortisol literally breaks down collagen. So when the source says he committed to sobriety, it's not just about recovery.
It's about skin preservation.
Yes. He essentially stopped a daily chemical attack on his own face.
Wow. Okay, so he stopped pouring gasoline on the fire, and the source also mentions balanced nutrition. What does that really mean in this context?
We're likely talking about a huge reduction in sugar and processed foods. This ties into a process called glycation. Have you heard of this?
Vaguely. The sugar thing.
Exactly. Excess sugar in your system binds to proteins, specifically collagen and elastin, and forms these things called AGEs.
AGE.
Advanced glycation end products. It's a fitting name because they literally age you. Think of it like toasting bread.
Oh, no.
The sugar and protein react and become stiff and brittle. That's what sugar does to your collagen. It caramelizes your skin from the inside out.
That's a horrifying image. So by cleaning up his diet, he's stopping his skin from turning into toast.
That's a pretty good way to think about it, yeah.
Okay, so no collagen-destroying alcohol, no collagen-stiffening sugar. What's the third pillar?
Sleep. Proper sleep. And this is the one people always underestimate.
Beauty sleep just sounds like something from a fairy tale, you know? We think we can just hustle through.
We really shouldn't. Sleep is when a process called autophagy kicks in. It's your body's cellular cleanup crew.
The janitors?
The night shift janitors, yeah. They clear out damaged cells. If you're chronically sleep deprived, like most normal people are, you're essentially firing the janitors.
And the trash just builds up.
The trash builds up and the repairs don't get made. So Brad's lifestyle isn't just healthy, it's a calculated state of biological preservation.
So that's factor one, the internal stuff. But then we get to factor two, and this, to me, is where the gap between Brad and, well, the rest of us becomes a canyon.
Hollywood ecosystem.
Yes. The source says Brad has access to world-class grooming, skincare, and wellness professionals.
And world-class is the key phrase there. We're not talking about grabbing a moisturizer at the drugstore.
No, we're talking about expert care. But I think when people hear Hollywood treatments, they picture bad plastic surgery, right?
The frozen forehead, the wind tunnel look. Yeah.
And that's the huge distinction the source makes about Brad. It says his treatments are all about subtle but consistent enhancements.
Subtle is the whole game. The goal isn't to look different. The goal is to look like nothing ever happened.
So we're not talking about old school facelifts.
No, we're talking high-tech dermatology. Things like lasers to resurface skin texture, microneedling to stimulate new collagen, and probably biostimulators.
Biostimulators, how is that different from, like, fillers?
Well, a traditional filler is like putting spackle in a crack. But biostimulator is different. It's injected, but it triggers your own body to grow its own collagen in that spot. It's playing the long game.
The goal is a fresh, rested look.
Rested. That's the ultimate flex in the modern world, isn't it?
It really is. And it takes a lot of money and a lot of expert work to look like you haven't had any work done.
So while Doug is probably just washing his face in the morning,
Right.
Brad has a team monitoring his skin barrier function and scheduling lasers during his downtime. It's a maintenance strategy. It's preventing the problem before it even starts.
It's like maintaining a classic car. Doug's car is a daily driver, parked in the sun. Brad's is in a climate-controlled garage, detailed every week.
That is a perfect analogy. The wear and tear is going to look very different after 30 years.
So we have the internal biology, the external support team. But there's a third factor the source brings up that I hadn't really considered. They call it image awareness.
This is the skill set. This moves away from biology and money and into psychology.
How so?
Brad Pitt is one of the most photographed actors in the world. He has spent decades living his life through a camera lens.
So he's learned how to present himself.
Exactly. It's a learned behavior. The source even lists posture as a huge factor. Think about it. If someone is slumped over, they look older, less vital.
I am literally sitting up straighter as you say that.
Good, because it matters.
Yeah.
Brad holds himself with intention. He knows where his body is in space.
And the source mentions styling, too. The clothes, the hair.
It's a curated presentation. He knows his angles. He knows what haircut frames his face best. He knows what collar shape to wear. It's a strategy.
So when Doug walks into a room, he's just a guy walking into a room.
Right. When Brad walks onto a red carpet, even when he's caught by paparazzi, he is performing. He is performing youth.
So let's circle back to Doug. I feel a little bad for him.
Oh, I don't think we need to pity Doug. The source is actually very complimentary about his life. He isn't failing at all.
No, not at all. It says he lives a far more private life.
Right. His focus is on business and philanthropy. He's working in boardrooms, not on movie sets.
So he doesn't have the pressure of Hollywood.
He doesn't have the pressure, but, and this is the key, he also operates without the support system.
That ecosystem, the world-class team.
Exactly. And the source says, without that support system, the differences in appearance just become more noticeable.
Even though Doug's aging is described as entirely natural.
Yes. And that is such a critical point. Doug Pitt is not aging badly. He is aging normally.
He's the control group for reality.
He is aging like a human being with a job and stress and gravity. Brad is aging professionally.
That's it. That's the perfect phrase. It is literally part of his job description.
His face is a multi-million-dollar asset. You have to invest in that asset. For Doug, looking 20 years younger doesn't help him run his business. It would just be vanity.
So when we see that side-by-side photo, we're not seeing good genes versus bad genes.
No. We are seeing supported aging versus natural aging.
It totally reframes the narrative. The source's conclusion isn't about superiority.
It's not that he's a better biological specimen.
No, it's a formula, lifestyle choices, professional support, and decades of living in the public eye.
And don't forget the internal drivers it mentions: discipline, adaptation, and a commitment to personal change.
That part stuck out to me, because you can have all the money in the world.
But if you don't have the discipline, you won't get the results. You can pay for the best trainer, but you still have to lift the weights.
It's work. Looking like Brad Pitt is a full-time job.
And Doug already has a full-time job.
Exactly. So to recap the Brad formula for everyone listening.
Sure.
Step 1, overhaul the lifestyle. Cut back on inflammatory stuff. Watch the sugar.
And get your sleep. Let the janitorial crew do their job.
Step 2, if you can, seek professional maintenance.
Even just sunscreen. That's the cheapest, most effective version of this.
And step 3, master your image, posture, awareness.
Carry yourself with vitality.
It seems like the takeaway is that while genes load the gun, lifestyle is what pulls the trigger.
And a team of professionals helps you aim.
Right. But it is kind of empowering, isn't it?
It is, because the lifestyle factors, the sleep, the stress reduction, those are accessible to everyone, even without the huge budget.
We can all choose to sleep a little more.
We can adopt the discipline, even if we don't have the team.
But this also brings us to a final thought I want to leave you with today.
Okay.
We've broken down how Brad Pitt achieves this fresh, rested look. We know it relies on subtle enhancements, a huge support system, a manipulated lifestyle.
Right.
So here's the question. If the standard of aging we all look up to, the movie star standard, is fundamentally artificial and financially impossible for most people, are we judging our own natural aging process against a standard that isn't even humanly possible to achieve alone?
That is the question. Are
Wow.
we failing at aging, or are we just failing to have a production team?
Something to think about. Don't be so hard on your inner Doug.
Indeed.
That's it for this deep dive. Thanks for listening.
See you next time.